Welcome to everyone. My name is Esa Toivonen from Thinking Portfolio, here as a senior portfolio advisor and head of portfolio sales. And I'm happy to introduce and demonstrate Thinking Portfolio's project portfolio key features and functionalities today. Okay, before we go deeper into key features, just briefly, in a nutshell, what Thinking Portfolio is all about. It's a hub with what offers more than 40 different kind of portfolios. Today, we will demonstrate about core features related to project portfolio, but there's a lot of other portfolios available, and all the portfolios what are on this hub, all the portfolios are natively connected to each other. So if you have a risk portfolio, if you have an R&D portfolio, M&A, NPD, process portfolio, customer portfolio, service portfolio, application portfolio, compliance portfolio, any of these, they are all connected to each other. So if you have one strategic statement, for example, or if you have a resource planning or you have a risk planning, everything is connected together. So from the risk portfolio, it will kind of aggregate all the risks also from project portfolio into a risk portfolio, for example. Or if you have a service portfolio and your project is aligned or there's a dependency to a certain service, your service portfolio will show you that there is a connection between these particular services. And Thinking Portfolio is based on a web browser, so you're using a web browser. You don't need to install anything, and it's a SaaS service. And interesting there is that there's no limitation for users, so you have a free amount of users, and there's only a fixed monthly price per portfolio you have. All the portfolios can be parameterized, and there could be different languages on your user interface and different currencies. So it's a very flexible, parameterizable, and we can always justify it based on customers' data model needs. But next, let's go to key features and continue today's demo. So if we start with customizable portfolio views, so what we have in Thinking Portfolio, all these issues that what you have in your data model, you are able to show on different portfolio views, and this is a basic view as a demo, and every customer could have their own view. And so what I have here is a program, project, current phase, project type, and so on, columns here, and I can decide that I can put the columns in an order that I feel comfortable with. If I want to put, let's say, project and current phase, I would have a readiness maybe between those columns. I could easily change it that way, that now I have a readiness on my customizable view. If I don't wish to have an organization column at all, I could say that I will take that column away, and that way I could personalize my portfolio view. And also what's here is that I can make different kind of filterings of anything what I have here. I have in this demo, I have more than 130 projects there, and I have filtered to myself 13 projects, and I could put them into order, let's say, in the order of what's the project with the highest priority, or put them in the order of project type, or decide that show me only projects that are research and, for example, business development type of projects. And that way I can filter, I can decide the view what I have on the columns what I have, and I can save all this information. So everything what I see here I can personalize, and it's just for me, so other users can have their own views to this portfolio. I can have a schedule view, for example, and I can have again I can decide that what do I want to, what projects I want to see here, in what order I want to see them, and again I can add more columns there. Let's say, for example, I would like to have the readiness there. So now I have on my schedule view project phase and readiness as a bit of a pie chart here, and then I can see the Gantt charts. And the Gantt chart tells me, by the way, that the start, beginning, and as a colored background, I can tell that what are the phases and what are the gate decision points there. So this is what you can decide what you want to see on your personal portfolio view. So the next, we could look at portfolio level dashboards, and what I have here is examples of different kind of dashboards. Thinking Portfolio has almost 1,000 different kind of report templates that can be used, and so I can build my own dashboard with that kind of reports that I wish to have there, and all the reports are dynamic. So I can decide what I want to see on a report. I can, if I want to drill in, I can drill into report. I can zoom reports. I can have different kind of here, for example, I can have a kind of baselines, costs, kind of reports. Again, I can decide what I want to see on these reports. I can have on my dashboard resource allocations and actual hours as an example. So these kind of reports can be on my my dashboard, and I can choose different kind of dashboards. Now I can have like PMO steering dashboard as an example, and on this dashboard I have chosen a little bit different kind of reports again. So personally I can make my personal dashboards. I can have dashboards that are public and shared with everyone, and I can decide all the reports that are in each dashboard, and so it's flexible with different kind of use. So they can be used for steering group work, they can be used for just project group work, or it can be introduced to a board meeting, or it can be just my personal task list if I wish. Okay, so next let's look at a strategic alignment issues, how strategic goals, sustainability kind of things can be introduced in a Thinking Portfolio. What I will do, I will open example project here, product development with tasks project, and I go to, in this case, now I can see that the basic information of the project and a demand, output, benefits, bit of background of the project. But now I go to effects, and I would like to show how the strategic goals can be introduced, that how this project is connected to each strategic goal. There could be also a compliance issue, what is related to data privacy, for example. And if the project handles personal data, then there's more questions related to personal data handling, how it happens, where the data is located, and so on. And this could be related to if personal data is handled during the project. What I have here, I have a strategic goals, I have a prioritization to show, so to see the benefits and risks, how the project is introduced there. Then there can be a business objectives. So this project supports growth, improving quality, improving corporate image, for example. It's connected to processes, let's say, for example, delivery process. And it also has a connection to sustainability. So I have sustainability issues also here if that is something that I would like to see from the portfolio. So there's a sustainability example. So here is a ESG goal related to environment, and it's defined how it's connected to a value chain and what's the impact, and how it's connected to goals. I can describe the sustainability impact. I can even have a KPIs for sustainability related to the sustainability issue as an indicators as such. And also there is opportunity to introduce benefits a little bit deeper. So you could have a KPIs or other benefit or goals introduced there. So that could be related to a project. So what's the starting level? What's a goal? What's the actual KPI during the project to follow the benefits? What we are waiting to be an output of the project. All right. Next, how project planning and project management is what you can see on the interface, and how it's introduced in the Thinking Portfolio's data model. Again, I start with the key information. So from the project management wise, there's basic information of the project. Is it part of programming? Who is the project owner, manager? Is there a project assistant, or what's the project type? All this, what you can see as these panels, they're all parameterizable. So every customer can have their own data model there. But this is a good best practice here to introduce. So also related to setting up the project, you will tell the background objectives, final results, limitations, scope issues, functional benefits, what are related to projects. So all that can be introduced here. And but if we go into more detailed into project planning, so I have a project schedule here. This example has gates, from gate 0 to gate 4, these steps. And so on project management wise, you're able to set up the gate dates. And in this example, there's planned and there's actual. So once the planned is when the project is set up, we have planned dates, and when the actuals follows after each step. Then we can have a project plan, project tasks, and other reports here. And if we are now talking about project planning, I have project plan here. Again, it's a template that is part of the portfolio data model, and so it's a project plan introducing all the text. It's a Latin here as an example text, so it will pick up all the text here. It will bring you all the gate dates, the count of the gate, and will introduce you a tasks with the hierarchies, so they can be different kind of task types. Here is example task, work package, milestone, and they can be hierarchies. So they could be a SAP task and a SAP task of SAP task and a SAP milestone and so on. So that will help you build your project's task structure, work packages, and also the dates for different actions. What else is here? You're able to bring a risk management, and it will introduce the budget forecast, actuals, things, dependencies kind of things. So part of project planning, you can tell that how projects are depending each other. You can have your resource planning on a monthly level on this example, and you can see that how much a person has already signed dates, and you can see how much there's a free time. Then you can have your, for example, your steering group also introduced here. So this is an example of project plan, what is partly built based on the information that is being typed into and described into portfolio, different portfolio views. So end of the day, you will get the project plan out of that automatically, and also you can have your tasks here. As mentioned, they are based on hierarchy, and this can bring you also into, if you wish, into your view of Kanban. So you can have your Kanban made out of that project plan and tasks what you have there. Okay, so that's how it supports project planning and also status reporting and here the status example of different kind of statuses for your kind of status lights, traffic lights for the project, and also you can follow the readiness of the project. And this was something that was introduced on the portfolio view earlier. That what we were looking at. Okay, and then more into parameterizable project templates. As earlier, before we checked the project plan, but there can be things like progress report, for example. There can be a different kind of status reports, risk management, final report, project managers checklists, things like that. So each of these templates, they are parameterizable. So what I have here is a progress report as an example, and this is based on traffic lights, for example, the current status, time tracking, what's the status of the tasks, what's the status of budget and forecast and actuals, how's your resource planning is going. So this is example of progress report. And then I have other templates that are parameterizable, could be related to risk management. So I can introduce risks here. It could be, for example, the communication plan. So I can tell that what are the communication issues here. I could have a final report where I can introduce or I can describe how the project went on a strategic perspective, with the business objectives, what are the different angles of the final report, and I can have a final report. I can have a post-evaluation report that will describe how the business case was achieved, and this post-evaluation can be done typically done sometime after the project is ended. Maybe it can be a few months, half a year, even a year later, just to look at the baseline, that what was the strategic goals that were given to project and how they were achieved. So there's a lots of different kind of templates that can be parameterized for the customer's project portfolio management data model needs. One example here is for example, status report. There be a one-pager. This is one of the parameterizable reports that you can have one-pager report that is a part of the templates in the portfolio. Then about idea management in Thinking Portfolio. This is just an example of idea card. So part of the project portfolio, there can be an idea management as an idea portfolio. So there is a place you can introduce your idea, describe the idea, and what's the problem that your idea is solving, what's the target for that, who is sponsoring. There could be a scoring, there could be a comments, there could be a prioritization for the idea, how the idea is related to maybe other ideas. So if there's dependencies between ideas. So there's idea management also here, and once the idea once the idea is agreed to be moved to proposal state or charter state, so you can click, and what it will do, it will move all the data, everything what is written in about the idea, it can be moved to project portfolio, so you don't have to type that again, and you can continue with the making a proposal of the project based on the idea phase information typed in. Okay, next, schedule and milestone tracking. That can be done several ways. Now I'm here in a project status tab, part of the portfolio, and here one thing related to time tracking and scheduler is of course the gate dates. One of them were the tasks, and the dates related to tasks, and then I related to schedule, and following that I had a portfolio level, I had a view for Gantt charts there, and then I have also in my project status, I can have a Gantt charts out of the tasks what I have in project and the subtasks and so on. So there's several ways of looking at schedules and several ways of making a kind of milestone tracking there. So the milestones can be set up in tasks as a separate milestone, or it can be part of the work package, or part of the it can be a separate or part of the work package, or part of a let's say your sprint, for example. Next, budgeting and forecasting and actual costs kind of follow-up. So there's a view in the Thinking Portfolio that here it's this demo, it's in the finances, and there is a budget, forecast, actual. I can choose the cost element. I can choose a bit of description for the cost element. I can put the budget, forecast, actual, and it will calculate, for example, what's the budget left, and I can also forecast how the budget will be used. In here it's years, but it can be months, for example, quartals if you wish. So here you can build your budget, forecast, and actuals. Then we have this example also cost tracking and allocation. If you wish, you are able to track costs in your portfolio. You can have in this example, you can have your suppliers, different kind of cost types. Again, original budget, bit of baseline, updated budget. You can have your forecast and actual, and this is divided. The cost tracking in this example is divided into months. So project manager can this way follow up the project cost monthly and kind of forecast the future, what are the costs that are coming, and it will introduce a summary of it. And there's also in this example there's a cost benefit analysis. introduced here, so you can see the investment cost, operating expenses for the upcoming years. This is related to business case of the project. What are the savings, maybe the profits of the project, and that gives us a total cost benefit. And here is also for a kind of a baseline, so you can have your baseline also for your business case, and you can keep it up during the project. All this is parameterizable, and this is just an example handling budget, forecast, actuals, cost tracking, and also a business case, the cost benefit analysis. So next, a resource management project and a portfolio level. And I have a resource plan related to this example project. I tell the person's role, I tell the person who will be in charge of, and I will in here divide it into months and dates, that what's the amount of days I need from for example from an architect here. And so I type it here, and I can approve also resource plans here, and I can change them here. I can manage it in this view, and this is on a project level. And if I want to go to portfolio level, I have a resource plan on a portfolio level where I can see all projects that I have. Here I can see actually 4 projects at one time, and the resource plans of those 4 projects, and I can open it that show me who are the persons who are in this example project. And here we can see I just approved architects, the new updated workload, so I can see it here. And at the same time I can see several different other projects, and I can also switch it to a user mode, so I can look at the project level, I can look at the portfolio level, then I can look at also on the level of all the users here. So all the people who are part of the resource plan here. So now I can see what are the resource plans for these people. So back to project mode, or if I want to go into exact the projects, just the project level resource plan, I can do it from the same view. Okay, skill tracking as a part of Thinking Portfolio. So I have here resource descriptions and competence and skill descriptions. I have here fictive person thinking ESA, and I have a competence that the person has, what's the current level, what's the target level, what's the gap, is it important or not, and I can also introduce, does this person have a certificates, for example, is it a important thing or not? And one thing what's actually here, that I can say that if this person is having a skill of project management, for example, or has the skills to be a program manager, for example. So in the resource plan, what will happen then is that once this skill tracking is activated, it will only show me those resources for the task that has a knowledge of project management or program management or testing. So every person can have their skills described, and resource planning is supporting that, and that helps once you are looking for right resource to do a certain activity that is based on a skill. What else is on this view? Example view, there's a competence radar. These are fictive things. So this person has a project management and a testing and this JavaScript skills. I can also say that this person has a accounting skills, that are developing and needs to be advanced, and this is important. I could also make this kind of a personal kind of a knowledge roadmap that this kind of a skill is recognized and needed, and it comes also to the competence radar of that person. But the big issue is to bring this information behind the resource planning. So if you are looking for a competence area of counting, you can only find those people who do have this competence accounting introduced in their competence area. This is optional, but it's a kind of a nice to have kind of feature once you are looking for certain knowledge and competence from your organization. And then project risk management, how that is introduced in Thinking Portfolio. Again, I'm in the project status tab, and I have here risk management. So this is managing risks in a project, and what are the mitigation actions for any of the risks. So in this product development with tasks named project, I have a risk, a scheduled risk. I have an effect, I have a possibility of the risk and giving an index for that, and it's someone is responsible of it, and it's active risk. So here I'm able to add these risks, and then I'm able to keep up if the things related to risk changes. And if I go to, for example, to my progress report, I have the same risk management as part of my progress report. So once I've updated the risks, they will directly go to my progress report. So this is a way of easily managing risks and a mitigation actions. So you can describe, you can manage the changes, you can have who is responsible of, what's the status, and you can even send an email here to person who is responsible and ask that could you go and check mitigation actions up, and could you go and update the effects of the risk if there's been any change on it. Then a bit about the project's status and progress tracking. Like earlier, we saw there's traffic lights for certain status types that you want to follow, and you can tell that what's the current status there, and what was the earlier status. You can tell the progress here, and it will tell the trend where the status is developing, and you can type what's the situation. You can type what are the main tasks for the current period, what are the main tasks for the period to start with, and what are the, for example, management expectations for the project. And once this is updated, it will again on my status report. I can have the follow-up. I can see how the traffic lights are developing. I can have the status. What are the last the main tasks for the period under review, management expectation, and so on. So I can get my project's one-pager status report, and same time I have my kind of description, what's the status here, and this also goes to my progress report again. So like earlier shown, again, I updated the traffic lights. Now they are also on my progress report. So you can see it in different ways on your status reports, on your view here, or in your progress report. But you just type it once, and it you can have the status information available in all these different views. Bit going back to project task scheduling and tracking. So we had a project tasks here introduced, like earlier mentioned, that there's a hierarchies on them. I can add a task here. I can tell that this is a new milestone, for example, and this is a, for example, project audit date, for example, and this happens on a planning stage, and it will happen on 27th of. So I can give the date there. I can tell that who is responsible, and it's not started yet. And once it's saved, now I have the task added, and it comes to my Kanban, for example. So now I have the project audit here. So I can it can be on my backlog, not started. It can be in progress. It can be done, and so I can manage it on my Kanban view, and I can also manage it on my task view. If a task view, it's more related to a date and the task hierarchy, and the Kanban will show me is it a what's the actually current status here. So once if I change it in Kanban, it will change the status also here in my task my task view on the status here. And then project documentation and file sharing. One thing that the Thinking Portfolio enables attachments is also enables links to workspaces such as Teams, for example. It can send a webhooks to Slack channels. If you have a Slack channel that is for, let's say, for idea management or for project follow-up for a certain project or program level, any status changing in a portfolio can be sent to a Slack channel, can be sent to your Teams channel. And also Teams can be also your workspace. So you can have a Teams workspace where your documentation is located. And what's a typical documentation what is handled in a Thinking Portfolio in a portfolio level? It's a documentation related to documents that are completed during and what are needed for the decision kind of gates. So you need to have a project plan before you can start the execution. During the execution and implementation, you need to have a progress reports. And once you are closing, you need to have a final report, and then you can have a post valuation. These kind of documents are done basically always in a portfolio and saved in here. But if you have other kind of documentation, you can link to that document. You can kind of save the document in here in your portfolio under the project, or you can put it into your workspace such as Teams and link to that workspace and manage documents through that. So that's the way of handling and many different kind of documents, but the decision documents are typically always in here in Thinking Portfolio. Okay, and then a bit of timesheet and expense tracking. Expense tracking we already checked from the portfolio that where project manager can keep up the expenses related to project on a monthly level and having the budget estimate and actual. What I have here now as an example is our reporting. So what I do is I have a project. I can tell the task what I've been doing, the project description for that, and then I can tell that how long, what's the time period for that I've done for that project. So I will tell the task, document what I've been doing, and giving hours done, and that's it. So it's very, very simple. And I can add hours to projects that I'm being a resource of. So I'm not able to add hours to any project, any project, only the projects that I've been a resource of. So this is how simple it is. Choose a task, choose a description, write a description and a given our actual time, and it can be on a level of 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, but typically it's on an hour level. And a bit of more related to collaboration functionalities. I already mentioned Teams, Slack, kind of things to be used. We can ask these kind of collaboration functionalities to different fields. For example, I have here project owner, and I have here sign mark. So clicking this, I can send an email to this person. Or if I'm in, let's say, if I'm in tasks, for example, view, I can add task here to certain person. I can automatically add this to that person's to my own Outlook calendar, or I can send an email. So I can add things to calendar. I can send emails. I can use these webhooks to send information to Slack and Teams channels. So those are things can be added to any of the fields what we have here in the portfolio. Okay, and then about portfolio reporting. Just to go over that, we have dashboards. We have these separate reports in every dashboard that we wish to have. All the reports are dynamical, so I can decide what I can see on a report, and it's based on my filtering what I use. They can be a different type. They can be there's lots of different templates to follow, and each report can be used as a separate report, or it can be used as a dashboard, or it can be taken out as a PDF or such. And if I show that also all these views what I have here in the portfolio, I can make reports out of those too. So if I have a symbol here, and I will click that, and it will make a portfolio view as a report. So I'm able to use views, these portfolio views as reports also. Also, I can go to a portfolio level, and if I can have a project book, I can have all the data what is about what's here related to the project. I can make that also as a report and as a PDF. So everything what I see in the portfolio, I can make report out of. This view what I have here, I can make this as a report. I can take a separate project as a report. I could have dashboards as mentioned as a report. I could make this view as a report. So there's lots of reporting functionalities available. And just to remind, Thinking Portfolio is easy to integrate to other systems. So there's interfaces like REST API, webhooks, and you can use JSON, XML, CSV type of formats to communicate in and out from the portfolio. So it's very open for integrations for your backend. Typical integrations could be to a financial system, for example, and it's always integrated to ADFS, so secured single sign-on. And a thank you for joining us and going through the demo. And here's a bit of contact information. Please send a message or contact us. We are happy to help, share thoughts, and learn together different things that what kind of benefits and opportunities a portfolio management has. Thank you for everyone. Bit of contact information. Please send a message or contact us. We are happy to help, share thoughts, and learn together different things that